welcome back to another video, and today we have Monster Jam Points Competition Season 2, event number 5. So if for whatever reason you guys have not yet seen the first 4 events, I suggest you guys do that first. Well, actually, you should probably watch the Field of Trucks first, if you don't even know what truck you're in. But basically, at the end of every event, I do go over the current point standing. So if you guys lose and you don't want to keep watching, you can just skip to pretty much the last 2 minutes of the video. That's when I'm going to go over the current point standings. So right now, coming into this event, Training Truck Zombie is the points leader with 52 points, and he has a huge points lead right now on second place, which is the Ride Truck Gravedigger with 30. So Ride Truck Gravedigger is 22 points right now, behind Training Truck Zombie. So we'll see if that can change after this event. If Zombie doesn't do too well this time, we'll see if he can. He'll still have the points lead after this event, because even if you win the event, you only get 15 points. So no matter what happens, he'll still be the points leader, but we'll see if anybody can close the gap after this event. You guys saw he takes on Monster Mutt Poodle in the first round, so that'll be interesting to see if he can win that. But yeah, here are the rest of the races. They have been completely randomized, and another thing, if you guys lose in the first round, you get 1 point to add onto your total for the entire season, just like always. So the final race of round number 1 is Zombie Northern Nightmare and Bad News Travels Fast. And one other thing, if you guys have not yet seen the first 4 events that I'm just going to quickly explain, is basically just how the track works. So of course we have the Show Off Showdown ramp, and they're going to go down the ramp, and now my laptop and 2 of the Fire and Ice 5-packs are down here at the end of the track. Now if both trucks hit this line, whoever hits it first will advance. But if it's right at the exact same time, then we will do a rerun. But other than that, whoever hits the line first is going to be the truck that advances. And that's pretty much it. You're in the same truck for every event, but I'm sure you guys know that by now. So now that we're over 2 minutes into this video, without further ado, we are going to kick things off with Whiplash taking on the Zombie Megalodon. So event number 5 is underway. And the first winner is going to be Whiplash. Next up, we have a Fire and Ice battle between Ice Blue Thunder and Fire Monster Mutt Husky. And it's going to be Ice Blue Thunder taking the win. Next up, we have the World Finals 19 Max D taking on Ice Octonator. And it's going to be Max D with the upset win over Octonator. Next up, we have the Creature Son of a Digger taking on the Zombie Mohawk Warrior. And it's going to be Son of a Digger taking the win with a block. Next up, we have Fire Zombie taking on Stone Crusher. And Stone Crusher is going to get the upset win over Fire Zombie. Next up, we have the Red Bakugan Dragonoid taking on Batman. Batman hit the line first, and he will take the win over Dragonoid. Next up, we have Ice Alien Invasion taking on Monster Mutt Dalmatian. And it's going to be Alien Invasion taking the win over Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Next up, we have Horsepower taking on the Mystery Machine. And it's going to be a very close race, but it looks like Horsepower is going to edge him out. Next up, we have the Training Trucks El Toro Loco taking on Ice Dragon. It's going to be Ice Dragon. Next up, we have Fire Max D taking on Sasquatch. And Sasquatch is going to take the win over Max D Fire. Next up, we have the Overcast Blue Thunder taking on the Ice Earthshaker. Oh, I think it was at the exact same time. I'm going to go back and take a look at the clip, and we'll see who took the win. Alright, so looking at the clip, I could tell that just barely Earthshaker took the win. If you guys want to go back and rewind the video, and you can slow down the speed of the video, and you can see that just barely Earthshaker did take the win. Now that one was really, really close. If it had been any closer, I probably would have done a rerun, but you could tell pretty clearly if you slow it down slow enough that Earthshaker took the win, so he will take the win, and Blue Thunder is eliminated. Next up, we have your points leader, Training Truck Zombie, who, like I said before, comes into this event with 52 points. He's taking on Monster Mutt Poodle. Can Monster Mutt Poodle put a stop to Zombie? Let's find out. No, he will not. It was actually closer than I expected, but Zombie is able to block Monster Mutt Poodle to take the win. Next up, we have Jurassic Attack taking on Ice Cream Man. And Jurassic Attack will take the win. Next up, we have Big Kahuna taking on Fire Megalodon. And it's going to be Fire Megalodon. Next up, we have the Elemental Trucks Gravedigger taking on Wildflower. And it's going to be the Elemental Trucks Gravedigger with the huge upset win over Wildflower. Next up, we have Ice Soldier Fortune taking on the Gold Bakugan Dragonoid. Oh, that is going to be a rerun. They hit the laptop at the exact same time. That was about as close as you can get, so we're going to do a rerun. So here goes the rerun. And this time it is going to be Soldier Fortune. Next up we have Time Flies taking on the Inverse Higher Education. And it's going to be Higher Education, your Event 1 champion, who comes into this event tied for 3rd in the point standings. He's moving on to round 2. Next up we have Queen Bee taking on Aftershock. And it's going to be Aftershock. Next up we have Fire Whiplash taking on Avenger. And Avenger will take the win. Next up, we have the second Fire and Ice battle here in round number 1. We have Ice Dragonoid taking on Fire Pirate's Curse. And it's going to be Dragonoid taking the win over Pirate's Curse. Next up, we have another Fire and Ice battle between Fire Soldier Fortune Black Ops and Ice Northern Nightmare. That is going to be a rerun. They hit the line at the exact same time. So for the second time in round number 1, we have a rerun. We have switched up the lanes. Let's see who's going to get it. They both go in completely opposite directions, but as you guys can see at the top of your screen right there, Northern Nightmare is ahead, and he will take the win. Next up, we have Iron Outlaw taking on Overcast Zombie. And it's going to be Iron Outlaw. Next up, we have Pirate's Curse taking on your Event 4 winner, Training Trucks Earthshaker. Earthshaker will take the win. Next up, we have World Finals 21 taking on Stinger Unleashed. And oh, I think that's going to be a rerun. Let me go back and take a look. So I just went back and looked at the clip, and looking at it very closely, they hit that line at the exact same time. So we have switched up the lanes, and we're going to do a rerun. This time it is going to be World Finals 21. Next up, we have Blue Crustacean taking on the Fire Monster Mutt Rottweiler. And it's going to be Fire Monster Mutt Rottweiler with a very cool slap wheelie. Next up, we have the Ice Monster Mutt Dalmatian taking on El Toro Loco. And it's going to be Monster Mutt Dalmatian Ice. Next up, we have Slinger taking on the Nitro Neon's Pirate's Curse. It's going to be Slinger. Next up, we have Sparkle Smash taking on the Ice El Toro Loco. And it's going to be Ice El Toro Loco with a comeback win over Sparkle Smash. Next up, we have the Zombie Pirate's Curse taking on Mohawk Warrior. And Mohawk Warrior has a terrible run. Pirate's Curse hits the line, and he will take the win. Next up, we have Inverse Alien Invasion taking on Brodozer. And it's going to be Alien Invasion taking the win over Brodozer. Next up, we have Ride Truck Gravedigger, who comes into this event second in the points. He's taking on Nomad Avenger. And I think he's going to take the win. I'm pretty sure he hit the line first, but let me just go back and take a look just to make sure. Alright, so looking at the clip, just barely the Ride Truck Gravedigger is going to take the win. That was an extremely close race, but Gravedigger did hit the line first, so he will advance, and Nomad Avenger is eliminated. Next up, we have Wildfire taking on the Inverse Brodozer. And Brodozer is going to take the win. Next up, we have a battle of 2 fire trucks. We have Son of a Digger taking on Mohawk Warrior. And that is going to be a close race, but Son of a Digger will edge out Mohawk Warrior. Next up, we have Cyclops taking on Yeti. Oh, that was exactly at the same... They hit that line at the exact same time, so we're going to switch up the lanes and do a rerun. So we have switched up the lanes. Here goes the rerun. This time it is going to be Cyclops. Next up, we have Wonder Woman taking on Scooby-Doo. It's going to be Scooby-Doo. Next up, we have Soldier Fortune taking on Monster Mutt Husky. It is going to be Monster Mutt Husky. Next up, we have Bounty Hunter taking on Ice Monster Mutt. It's going to be Ice Monster Mutt. Next up, we have the Nitro Neon's Max D taking on Octonator. It's going to be Nitro Neon's Max D. Next up, we have Fire Horsepower taking on Overcast Dragon. And it's going to be Overcast Dragon. Next up, we have the final race of round number 1, which is going to be Zombie Northern Nightmare taking on Bad News Travels Fast. And it's going to be Bad News Travels Fast. So here's a look at all of the trucks that lost in round number 1, which means they get a total of 1 point for this event to add on to their total for the entire season. And here's a look at all of the races for round number 2. So if you lose in this round, you'll get a total of 3 points. So yeah, here's one final look at the races, and we're going to kick things off with Whiplash taking on Ice Blue Thunder. So round number 2 is underway. And Whiplash is going to take the win with a block on the Ice Blue Thunder. Next up, we have the World Finals 19 Black Max D taking on the Creatures Son of a Digger. And it's going to be a very close race. But as you guys can tell from the aerial view, Son of a Digger is going to edge him out. Next up, we have Stone Crusher taking on Batman. And Batman is going to take the win over Stone Crusher. Next up, we have Ice Alien Invasion taking on Horsepower. And Ice Alien Invasion has a terrible run, and that's going to give the win to Horsepower. Next up, we have Ice Dragon taking on Sasquatch. And Dragon will take the win. Next up, we have Ice Earthshaker taking on your points leader, the Training Truck Zombie. And Training Truck Zombie is going to roll to victory, eliminating Earthshaker Ice. Next up, we have Jurassic Attack taking on Fire Megalodon. It's going to be Fire Megalodon. Next up, we have the Elemental Trucks Gravedigger taking on Ice Soldier Fortune. And it's going to be a close race, but it looks like Elemental Trucks Gravedigger will take the win. Next up, we have Inverse Higher Education taking on Aftershock. And it's going to be Higher Education. Next up, we have Avenger taking on the Ice Bakugan Dragonoid. It's going to be Avenger. Next up, we have Ice Northern Nightmare taking on Iron Outlaw. It's going to be Ice Northern Nightmare. Next up, we have Training Trucks Earthshaker taking on World Finals 21. And it's going to be the Training Trucks Earthshaker. Next up, we have a Fire and Ice battle between Fire Monster Mutt Rottweiler and Ice Monster Mutt Dalmatian. It's going to be the Fire Monster Mutt Rottweiler. Next up, we have Slinger taking on Ice El Toro Loco. It's going to be Ice El Toro Loco with a block. Next up, we have Zombie Pirate's Curse taking on the Inverse Alien Invasion. Oh, I'm not sure who hit it first. I'm going to go back and take a look at the clip.
Hey,
Alright, so looking at the clip, that race was really close, but just barely. By the slightest bit, you could tell the Inverse Alien Invasion did hit it first. You can even go back and slow down the speed of the video if you want. Alien Invasion hit it first, so he's going to advance, and Pirate's Curse is eliminated. Next up, we have the Ride Truck Gravedigger taking on the Inverse Brodozer. It's going to be the Ride Truck Gravedigger taking the win over Inverse Brodozer. Next up, we have Fire Son of a Digger taking on Cyclops. It's going to be Cyclops. Next up, we have Scooby-Doo taking on Monster Mutt Husky. And it's going to be Monster Mutt Husky with a come-from-behind win. Next up, we have Ice Monster Mutt taking on Nitro Neon's Max D. And it's going to be Ice Monster Mutt. What a move there by Monster Mutt. He takes the win over Max D Nitro Neons. Next up, we have the final race of round number 2, which is going to be Overcast Dragon taking on Bad News Travels Fast. Bad News Travels Fast is going to take the win. So here's a look at all of the trucks that lost in round number 2, which means they get a total of 3 points for this event to add on to their total for the entire season. And now here's a look at all of the trucks in round number 3. There are 20 trucks remaining, so yeah, here are the races. And we're going to kick things off with Whiplash and Creature Son of a Digger. And by the way, if you lose in this round, you get 5 points for this event. So round number 3 is underway. And the first winner is going to be Whiplash. Next up, we have Batman taking on Horsepower. It's going to be Horsepower taking the win over Batman. Next up, we have Ice Dragon taking on the Training Truck Zombie. Oh, just barely! The Zombie Training Truck is going to take the win. Ice Dragon almost got the huge upset win, but just barely. Zombie did hit it first, and he will advance. Next up, we have Fire Megalodon taking on the Elemental Trucks Gravedigger. It's going to be the Elemental Gravedigger. Next up, we have Inverse Higher Education taking on Avenger. And it's going to be Higher Education, although Avenger had a really cool wheelie. But Higher Education takes the win. Next up, we have Ice Northern Nightmare taking on Training Trucks Earthshaker. It's going to be the Training Trucks Earthshaker. Next up, we have a Fire and Ice battle between Fire Monster Mutt Rottweiler taking on Ice El Toro Loco. Oh, I think that's going to be a rerun. Let me go back and take a look. Alright, so they hit that line pretty much at the exact same time, so he switched up the lanes, and we're going to do a rerun. I think it's going to be another rerun. Let me go take a look, though. All right, so looking back at the clip, this is actually not going to be a rerun. If you look at it close enough, and if you slow down the speed of the video just enough, you could tell that Monster Mutt Rottweiler Fire did hit it first, so Rottweiler will advance and El Toro Loco is eliminated. Next up, we have the Inverse Alien Invasion taking on the Ride Truck Gravedigger. And Alien Invasion flips over. That's going to cost him. Gravedigger Ride Truck will take the win. Next up, we have Cyclops taking on Monster Mutt Husky. And that's going to be a really close race. Let's take a look at the aerial view. Now we're going to go straight down. And as you guys can tell, at the top of your screen, just barely, Cyclops is going to take the win. Next up, we have the final race of round number 3, which is going to be Ice Monster Mutt taking on Bad News Travels Fast. I think it's going to be Bad News, but let me go take a look. Alright, so looking at the clip, Bad News Travels Fast did just barely take the win over Ice Monster Mutt. So here's a look at all of the trucks that lost in round number 3, which means they get a total of 5 points for this event to add on to their total for the whole season. So these guys get 5. And now it is time for round number 4. We are down to 10. And now, if you guys have not yet seen any of the events so far, I'm going to quickly explain how this is going to work. Because, of course, with 10 trucks, that would go down to 5 after this round, and that is an odd number. So for the fast loser, what we're going to do is out of the 5 trucks that lose, the 2 trucks out of those 5 that have the best runs will face off in the fast loser. So that way it's not going to, I'm not going to be playing favorites or anything like that. It's going to be completely fair. And the 2 losers that have the best run will face off in the fast loser race. And if you lose in this round, you'll get 7 points for this event and Mall Dance. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to kick off round number 4 with Whiplash taking on Horsepower. So round number 4 is underway. And I think that's going to be dead even. Let me go back and take a look. So that was way too close to call, so we're going to switch up the lanes and do a rerun. And this time, Horsepower flips over early, and that's going to give the win to Whiplash. Although one thing I do have to say is Horsepower is going to have a good chance at being in the fast loser because although in the second race he had a terrible run, still in the first race he hit the laptop, so he still had an amazing run at first. We just had to do a rerun to see who would take the win, but Horsepower's chances of being in the fast loser race are still very good. And anyways, next up we're going to have Training Truck Zombie taking on the Elemental Trucks Gravedigger. It's going to be Training Truck Zombie taking the win over the Elemental Trucks Gravedigger. So coming into this event, Training Truck Zombie and Ride Truck Gravedigger are first and second in the points, but these 2 trucks right here, Inverse Higher Education and Training Trucks Earthshaker, come into this event tied for 3rd in the points. Now they're going to be squaring off head to head. Let's see who's going to get it. It's going to be Earthshaker. Higher Education flipped over a ton, and that's going to cost him. Earthshaker takes the win. Next up, we have Fire Monster Mutt Rottweiler taking on the Ride Truck Gravedigger. And Fire Rottweiler has a terrible run, and Gravedigger Ride Truck is advancing to round 5. Next up, we have the final race until the fast loser. It's going to be Cyclops taking on Bad News Travels Fast. Bad News Travels Fast is going to take the win over Cyclops. So here are the 5 trucks that have moved on to round number 5, and now it is time for the fast loser race. So all 5 of these guys lost in that round, and I think it was pretty clear which 2 had the best run because they're the only 2 that hit the laptop, which was Horsepower on his first try, like I explained before, and then Cyclops as well. So those 2 trucks will be facing off in the fast loser. And as for these 3 guys right here, they get a total of 7 points for this event. Now the loser of this race will get 7 points as well, but these guys are all out now. Let's see who's going to be the fast loser. Mall Dance. So the fast loser is going to be Cyclops. So these 4 trucks have lost in round number 4, and they get a total of 7 points for this event. So here are the 6 trucks that remain. Now before we get into the field of trucks, I just want to quickly mention something that's very interesting. So coming into this event, out of the top 6 trucks in the point standings, 5 of those 6 are still right here. Zombie is the points leader, Gravedigger is second, Earthshaker is third, and then Cyclops and Whiplash are tied for 5th and 6th. The only truck that is not in in the top 6 in points is Bad News Travels Fast. That is the one surprise, and the one truck that should be here that's also in the top 6 but is not is Inverse Higher Education. So if we were to swap Higher Education and Bad News Travels Fast, it would literally be the top 6 in the point standing. So I think it's pretty clear which trucks are the fastest this season. But anyways, guys, without further ado, let's jump into the field of trucks. So inside of Whiplash, we have Doomsday 5155. Inside of Training Truck Zombie, we have Monster Jams times 10. Inside of Training Trucks Earthshaker, we have Chase Bance. Inside of the Ride Truck Gravedigger, we have Supper Large Billy. Inside of Bad News Travels Fast, we have Josh Doing Things YT. And inside of Cyclops, we have Dolores Simmons. So these 6 trucks are left. Now, if you lose in this round, you will get 9 points. And basically how this is going to work, it's just like how last round worked, except this time it's with 3 trucks instead of 5, because with 6 trucks left, it's going to go down to 3, and then the 2 losers out of the 3 that have the best run will face off in the fast loser race. So, yeah, without further ado, let's see who's going to be the first truck to go to the semifinals. Is it going to be Whiplash or Training Trucks Zombie? So who is going to be the first truck to advance to the semifinals? It's going to be Training Trucks Zombie, eliminating Whiplash. So next up, we have Training Trucks Earthshaker and Ride Truck Gravedigger. They are 2nd and 3rd in the point standings. Let's see who's going to get it. It's going to be Ride Truck Gravedigger with a block on Earthshaker. Gravedigger advances, but Earthshaker is probably going to be in the fast loser. So next up, we have the final race until the fast loser. Can Bad News Travels Fast continue to be the spoiler? He's the only truck here that's not in the top 6 in points. He's taking on Cyclops. Let's see who's going to get it. It's going to be Cyclops, but Bad News will be in the fast loser. So these 3 trucks are still in it, but now it is time for the fast loser. So these 3 trucks all lost in that round, and it was pretty clear which one had the worst run, and that one was obviously Whiplash. So Whiplash has officially been eliminated. He is going to get 9 points for this event, and here is the fast loser race. Bad News Travels Fast versus Training Trucks Earthshaker. So the loser will also get 9 points, just like Whiplash, and then the winner will advance to the semifinals. So let's see who's it going to be. It is going to be Training Trucks Earthshaker. So he will advance to the semifinals, but you got to give it up for Bad News Travels Fast. Nobody expected him to do this well in this event, but he did. He almost made it to the semifinals, but he falls just short. Earthshaker is in the semis. So Whiplash and Bad News Travels Fast will get 9 points for this event, and now it is time for the semifinals. So out of these 4 trucks, in the point standings, they are 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th. Zombie Training Truck is 1st. Gravedigger Ride Truck is 2nd. Earthshaker Training Truck is 3rd. Now 4th is Inverse Higher Education, like I said before, but he's already been eliminated. And then Cyclops was tied for 5th with Whiplash, but Whiplash is out now too. So I think it's pretty clear like which 5 or 6 trucks are the fastest this season. But anyways, guys, without further ado, let's go over the field of trucks. So Zombie Training Truck is Monster Jams times 10. Gravedigger Ride Truck is Supper Large Billy. Cyclops is Dolores Simmons. And Earthshaker Training Truck is Chase Bance. So if you lose in the semifinals, you will get 11 points for this event. And that's pretty much it. So let's see who's going to go to the championship race. Is it going to be Zombie Training Truck or Gravedigger Ride Truck? Who will go to the championship race? It's going to be Gravedigger Ride Truck with the upset win. And now in 5 events, this is only the 2nd time that Zombie has not made it to the championship race. And the other time that he didn't was in Event 3 when he also lost in the semifinals. He has not done worse than the semifinals, but this is one of the 2 times that he has. He has been eliminated. He will get 11 points for this event, and Gravedigger Ride Truck is in the championship race. So who is going to meet the Ride Truck Gravedigger in the championship race? Is it going to be 5th place Cyclops or 3rd place Training Trucks Earthshaker? It's going to be Training Trucks Earthshaker. He won event number 4, and now he has a chance to win event number 5 and go back-to-back. He has eliminated Cyclops, who, just like Training Truck Zombie, is going to get 11 points for this event. And now it is time for the championship race of Monster Jam Points Competition, Season 2, event number 5. So believe it or not, this is going to be the first time that we've had a repeat winner, because event number 1 went to Inverse Higher Education, event 2 was Training Truck Zombie, And then Event 3 was Ride Truck Gravedigger, and Event 4 was Training Trucks Earthshaker. So both of these trucks have already won an event. They come into this event second and third in the points behind Zombie Training Truck. But let's see who's going to get it. The winner will get 15 points, and the loser will get 13. So let's see who's going to be. Your winner of Monster Jam Points Competition Season 2, Event number 5, is going to be none other than... That, oh man, that I think was dead even.
That was close.
I'm going to go back and take a look, and I'm going to see if either one of them hit it first, or we might have to do a rerun. Alright, so for the first time ever, not only in the points competition, but I think for the sign-up series as well, we're having a rerun in the championship race. They hit that line at the exact same time. It was just too close to call. So here goes the rerun. Let's see who's going to win event number 5. I think it's Gravedigger, but let me just make sure. Alright, so as you guys saw from the slow motion video that I just put in, you guys could tell that by the slightest bit, the Ride Truck Gravedigger hit it first, and Ride Truck Gravedigger is your champion. That is the first truck now to win 2 events, and he is still going to be second in the points, though, because Zombie Training Truck is still so far ahead. But Gravedigger Ride Truck is slowly inching closer to try and take first place away from Zombie. So congratulations to Supper Lars Billy for getting the win. Chase Bance almost won back-to-back, but better luck in event number 6. And maybe you can get your second ever championship. But that's pretty much it for the events. But now I'm going to quickly total up the current point standings. And in just a moment, I will show you guys the current point standings after this event. Alright, so here's a look at the current point standings after this event. And as you guys can see, Training Truck Zombie is still the points leader with 63 points. But coming into this event, Ride Truck Gravedigger was actually 22 points back, and as you guys can see right there, he is now just 18 points back. This right here is how many points they are behind the leader. I only did it for 2nd through 6th because I think the top 6 in points have very clearly been the 6 fastest trucks all season, and if anybody has a chance to catch Zombie, I think it would be one of those 5 probably. So, yeah, Ride Truck Gravedigger, though, he gained 4 points on Zombie in this event. He is very slowly inching closer to that points lead. We'll see if he can catch him. And then Training Trucks Earthshaker, Cyclops, Inverse Higher Education, and Whiplash are all right there in the mix as well. Then here's the rest of the standings. We got Nitro Neons Max D, Inverse Alien Invasion, World Finals 21, Scooby-Doo, Ice Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Fire Zombie, Monster Mutt Husky, Ice Alien Invasion, Horsepower, Avenger, Ice Monster Mutt, Creature Son of a Digger, Inverse Brodozer, and Fire Whiplash. That rounds out the top 20. So here's a look at the rest of the point standings. So just look for your name and then your truck, and you can see how many points you have. So here they all are. So this has definitely been the longest points competition video so far. So if you guys are still watching to this point, I do appreciate it very much. So here's just the final page of the point standings. Now there are still 5 trucks that have not yet won in round 1, which are Ice Cream Man, Wonder Woman, Mohawk Warrior, Overcast Zombie, and Wildfire. We'll see if any of those guys can finally get a win in round 1 in event number 6. But that is basically going to do it for this video, guys. This is the end of event number 5, and we are now officially at the halfway point of the season. 5 events are completed, and we still have 5 more events to go. So we'll see if anybody can catch Training Truck Zombie for the points lead. It's going to be interesting to see if anybody can. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. So like I said before, if you guys are still watching to this point, I appreciate it so much. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys are new to my channel, make sure you guys subscribe. I'm currently on the road to 2,200 subscribers. And then, of course, make sure you guys also leave a like on the video, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys next time.